Hello, everybody. We have a special guest. He's actually very special to me. I have a lot of respect. I hold lot of respect for him. He's a symbol of humility. He's a dedicated Vishnu Dasa, a Madhva Dasa, you could say. And he's taken the effort, I would rather say, and he's blessed us with his presence in our studio. So let me welcome Sri Vivek Suryaji.
Namaste, Gurubhyo Namaha.
It is a very big honor to receive you here.
I'm happy that I'm here. I wouldn't say I'm blessing this Arananal. I would like to have some friendly
We
chat.
are blessed with your presence, sir. So we were just discussing on and off, I think, on social media, we were discussing how certain misconceptions are being spread. Let me come right to the topic. Where this particular topic about Ekalavya, I mean, topic about Ekalavya, misconception about Karna, misconception about Ravana, this has become like so much of a fad that people think it is fashionable to claim that Ekalavya was a victim, Karna was a victim, Ravana was a victim. I think they are cherry picking from the Itihasa, because these are all people who are characters. I mean, Itihasa Purushas, we could say, and random translations, and people have put themselves their own thought process into it, and they try to misinterpret. I would not even say interpret, misinterpret. So I would want this misconception to be demolished. Where I think you're the person who's best suited for that. So tell us about, or enlighten us about this Ekalavya and how he is being shown as a victim.
So the very first question we think of Ekalavya, which comes into our mind is he wasn't taught the education which he deserved. This is the first thought which was planted into our minds. That is how I would say. The very direct answer would be he was homeschooled by Dronacharya. Dronacharya stayed with Ekalavya for more than 10 years in his home.
Ekalavya, where is it specified, sir?
Madhvacharya has a book, has his magnum opus, Mahabharata Tatparya Nirnaya.
Please explain us about this magnum opus.
Mahabharata Tatparya Nirnaya is a critical analysis of entire Shastras, not just Mahabharata. That is what Madhvacharya says.
Mahabharata Tatparya
Nirnaya. He says this Mahabharata Tatparya Nirnaya as the critical analysis. Sarva Shastrartha Nirnayaha. He wants to establish the realities of the entire Shastras. Entire Shastras in the sense, the entire Vedas, entire Itihasas, entire Puranas, entire Dharma Shastra. While doing this, Madhvacharya established a lot of facts and he clears a lot of misconceptions regarding Ramayana in the first 9 adhyayas. Then in the next 22, 23 adhyayas, he goes into Mahabharata. He goes to the exact place where we can be derailed. Mahabharata is probably 1 lakh shlokas. This 1 lakh shlokas is heavy to a human brain. It is not possible to comprehend the entire essence of Mahabharata by just reading. When you are reading, it probably would take 15-20 days if you have continuously read Mahabharata. You should understand Mahabharata. You should be able to relate one thing to another thing which you have already read or which you will be reading. All this you have to do. This is a very intensive process of understanding Mahabharata. So what Madhvacharya has done is, he has made this work simple. He exactly goes to the place where we can be derailed. He clears the doubt with Veda Shastra Pramanas. Not only that, there are 16 commentators for this Mahabharata Tatparya Nirnaya who has made the job even easier. Madhvacharya could have said a shloka. These commentators would explain the shloka in a way that where Madhvacharya is taking this idea from. they could have done this. There are 16 people who have done this. So based on Mahabharata and Ramayana, there is none other work which is comparable to this Mahabharata Tatparya Nirnaya. So in this Mahabharata Tatparya Nirnaya, Madhvacharya explicitly says, we don't have to go into interpretations, we don't have to go into any other brain acrobatics. There is an explicit mention that Ekalavya was taught by Dronacharya. Dronacharya got impressed by the Guru Bhakti of Ekalavya, of he doing the Murti Puja of him, of he...
Now, where did Ekalavya encounter or first see
Dronacharya? Very good question. So these Raja Putras, they are going to Dronacharya for Vidya. Bhishmacharya is taking them to Vidya with Dronacharya. So when these people are going, even Ekalavya goes. Ekalavya is far older than these people. Probably 30 to 40 years older than these people, but he is still a Balaka. Because in that Yuga, it is 100 years is what is called a childhood.
Okay.
Until 100 years, you are a child. So these guys were 12 years or 13 years. Ekalavya was probably 42, 43. He was still a child. He goes there to learn Vidya with these people. When Ekalavya approaches Dronacharya, he is introducing himself as Ekalavya. In Mahabharata, we know there are a lot of names. There is Draupadi, there is Krishna, there is Dhananjaya. Every name has a meaning. No name is like Tinku Pinku, which doesn't have a meaning. We are, in this current world, we are so used to this Tinku Pinku. We are not even going into the meaning of what the names mean. Krishna means one who is black. Krishna means one who attracts everything. Draupadi means who is daughter of Drupada.
There is a saying, or I have heard, that even Draupadi was called Krishna.
Yes. Her original name is Krishna. Krishna is Strilinga because she was black. Her original name is Krishna. So there are three Krishnas. One is Krishna, then there is Vasishta Krishna, who is Vedavyasa, then there is Krishna, who is Draupadi. So all these people are Krishna. These are people. Krishna means one who attracts. Karshyati iti Krishnaha. Dhananjaya means who has won so much money. These people did Rajasuya Yaga. Partha, Arjuna went into battles with other kings. He brought so much money into the Rajasuya Yaga, so he is called Dhananjaya. So what does Ekalavya word mean? Ekalavya means Ekat Lavyaha Ekalavyaha, which means Ekaha means the Sanskrit, we know Eka means one. Ekam, Dve, Trini means 1, 2, 3. Ekat Lavyaha, he is born from one. It doesn't make any sense. In the same Sanskrit dictionary, the other meaning of Eka is Swanamaka Ilavamshajata Nrupabedaha, which means Ila is one person. Whoever kings who are born from this Ila, they are called as Ekaha. Who is this Ila? Ila is the first daughter of Vaivasvata Manu. That is, he is elder sister of Ikshvaku. Ikshvaku is...
Even Bharat is considered Ila Varsha, right?
Ila Varsha. Ila are there. There is a Varsha called Ila Varsha. That is a different Varsha altogether. Bharata Varsha is separate, Ila Varsha is separate. So this Ila is the progenitor of Chandra Vamsha. Ikshvaku is the progenitor of Surya Vamsha. So whoever the Chandra Vamsha kings are called Ekaha. Ekat Lavyaha means one who is born from Chandra Vamsha king. That is what Ekalavya, the very word, means. So when Ekalavya introduced himself to Dronacharya, he said, I am Ekalavya, which means I am a son of Chandrakula Vamsha. We could have heard that he is of Nishadha. He is of low born.
He was adopted by the Nishadas.
Exactly. He was not born to the Nishadas. He was adopted by Nishadas. So where is this Chandra Vamsha relation? That we can see in Bhagavata. This Ekalavya, he is a nephew of Sri Krishna.
Correct, but how do you say, how do you relate and say, or how do you give the authenticity to Bhagavata? And say Bhagavata can be the reference point for what we take out of Itihasa. I'm just trying to get enlightened.
Agreed. So in our Sanatana Dharma, we have certain certain granthas called pramana granthas. They are the source granthas for any other idea we derive out of Sanatana Dharma. These are called as pramana granthas. What are all the pramana granthas? Rigadayascha chatvaraha. Rig, Yajus, Sama, Atharvana. These four Vedas are pramana granthas. Pancharatram cha Bharatam. Pancharatra Agama. This is a pramana grantha. Bharatam, Mahabharata. Moola Ramayanam Chaiva. These are all pramana granthas. Then there is a hierarchy in these pramana granthas. How do you hierarchy is? The Vedas became the middle layer. They are like more like a benchmark. There are granthas which are higher than Vedas. There are granthas which are lower than Vedas.
Okay.
So Vedas are like the benchmark.
Now, what are the granthas which are higher than Vedas?
Mahabharata.
Okay.
Even in Mahabharata, apart from other shlokas, Gita is highest. Even above Gita, Vishnu Sahasranama is highest. There is only one grantha which is higher than Vishnu Sahasranama, that is Brahma Sutra. All these were composed by one person called Vedavyasa. Vedas were divided by Vedavyasa. Mahabharata was composed by Vedavyasa. Brahma Sutra Bhashya was composed by Vedavyasa. Then the 18 Puranas, they are below the Vedas.
These now, where does Bhagavata come?
Bhagavata is Samana of Veda. Bhagavata is equal to Veda.
Okay. Now let's come to Ekalavya.
So Bhagavata explicitly says that Krishna and Ekalavya are cousin brothers. Okay. So Krishna's father is Vasudeva. Vasudeva's own younger brother is called Devashrava. Devashrava has a child. When at the moment of his birth, there are a lot of apashakunas, bad omens in English we would say. There are a lot of apashakunas. These Prohitas advised saying, if this guy survives, if this guy is in our country, this country would be doomed forever. So you please discard this guy. These guys take and they discard it. This discarded person is being adopted by Hiranyadanu, which is Nishada Raja. He names him Ekalavya. He isn't naming anything. He is naming him Ekalavya. That is, he knows that this guy is born from Chandrakula Vamshas. This is how he himself introduced himself to Dronacharya. He says, I am Ekalavya, means I am born out of Chandra Vamsha. So he isn't saying I am a Nishada prince, I am all those things. The other thing is, when he says, I want to learn things from you, he is almost 45-50 years of age. He has already fought 22 to 23 battles against Sri Krishna, not as a foot soldier, not as some Rathika, not as some bowman, but as the warlord, Senatipati, not of some Tukoda king, of Jarasandha.
Now, is there any reference in Mahabharata?
I mean, Mahabharata is full of these references.
Where 22 battles?
Yes.
Okay, Mahabharata has these references.
The first encounter with Krishna is when Kamsa is killed. When Krishna kills Kamsa, he is probably at the age of 11 or 12. Jarasandha comes with Ekalavya. Ekalavya, he carries 21 Akshohini Sainyas. One Akshohini Sainya is 2.5 lakh people. Then there are horses, then there are rathas, then there are people who supply weapons, then there are people who supply food, then there are doctors, you name it. 2.5 lakh soldiers. There are gajas. Gajas means elephants. All these there are 21 times 2.5 lakh people plus all these things. This Ekalavya was the lord of this 21 Akshohini Sainyas in the first war between Krishna. He flees the battle. Ekalavya is a great warrior, agreed. Where did he get this Vidya? I mean, he hasn't gone to Dronacharya yet. He is a Senatipati. He should have learned it from someone else, right? In the Vana, in the forest, he learns all the Paishacha Vidyas from the Pishachas. He learns all the Paishacha Vidyas. I mean, there are two kinds of astras, two kinds of weapons, I would say. There is Shastra, there is Astra. Shastra means when you use it with your own Shakti. I mean, you will be able to wield a bow, wield a sword, wield bow and arrow. All this you have to do with your own physical power. Then there is something called Astra. Astra is this physical power plus mantra. These mantras obviously comes from Vedas. There is no other place of mantra. when we say mantra, it is from Vedas. So this guy had all the Veda mantras being already taught, where he can what to say, call those paishachas to be present in those astras, and he would go into a war. He was already a skilled archer, skilled Senadipati who can control 21 Akshayani Sainyas. This is in the age of 12 of Sri Krishna. Then again and again, he flees the war again. The first battle, he flees. There are 22 consecutive yuddhas. In every yuddha, he takes 21 Akshayani Sainyas. I don't know why, either it is his lucky number or what. He takes all 21 Akshayani Sainyas. These 21 Akshayani Sainyas will be completely washed off by Sri Krishna and Balarama. He will flee the battle. Ekalavya will flee the battle for 22 times. Only after fleeing the battle for 22 times, he goes to Dronacharya and asks, please teach me. So what is he asking for? He is already an expert in warfare. He is already an established warlord. What is he asking Dronacharya for? He is asking Dronacharya for Brahmastra. That is why he goes. That is why even Karna and Ekalavya, he goes to Dronacharya to teach him Brahmastra. Why it should be taught from Dronacharya? Brahmastra can be taught from anyone else, right?
Correct.
What is the speciality of Brahmastra? Brahmastra is nothing but wielding a bow and arrow with a special mantra. That special mantra, me and you already know. Crores and crores of Hindus are already chanting that special mantra. Any guess what is that mantra is?
Is that to do with Gayatri mantra?
It is Gayatri. It is Gayatri. This Gayatri will call Brahma to be able to sit into that astra, and that astra will do its work. That is what Brahmastra is. To learn this mantra, you need a perfect lineage. The person who is teaching should have the siddhi of that mantra. You get it from him, the effect of that mantra is larger. Where did Dronacharya get this Brahmastra from? He got it from Parashurama. Parashurama is Sakshat Vishnu. He is the avatar of Vishnu. I mean, whatever the Veda mantra says, it is talking about Parashurama.
Okay.
He got it from Parashurama. After getting this Vidya from Parashurama, he mandates Dronacharya, saying, Dronacharya shouldn't be teaching all these astras to Ayogyas. Dronacharya can teach these astras to anyone, but he shouldn't teach Ayogyas. Ayogyas literally means unqualified people. Now we have established Ekalavya is a high-born person. He is not a low-born person. He is high-born. Then why is being denied? He is being denied because he has fled the battle 22 times. That is his ayogyata. His major disqualification is a war. A normal foot soldier, the expectation is either he should go to the war, win it, or he should go to the war and be dead. Correct. The very word Veera means one who completes the task with what he is taking. Veera doesn't mean one who fights vigorously. Veera actually, if I am taking a task, if I take the taken task is completed, I'll be called Veera. Veera means completing the task which was taken. So when we say a poor Veeran in Tamil, which means he goes to war, either he wins or either he dies in the battle.
Correct.
That is
Correct.
completing the task which he has undertaken.
Correct.
So this guy, he has fled the battle 22 times. This becomes his major disqualification. This disqualification made Dronacharya not to teach him Brahmastra. Even in that time, Dronacharya is so...
Now, why did he choose to stay with Ekalavya for 10 years?
I mean, that is coming on a later stage. Okay. When he has stayed after all the Gurukula Vasa of these kings has been completed. Why he has chosen is, we know the story, what happens. Everyone knows the story, what happens. Ekalavya is being asked for the thumb. He gives the thumb. That is where every cinema ends. Right? Every cinema, every serial, what we have seen,
Correct,
ends there. Harivamsha has all the annexures of what has already happened in Mahabharata. I mean, Mahabharata is the main plot. You can't say everything in Mahabharata. For example, the very first instance Krishna comes into Mahabharata is the Vivaha of Draupadi. There is no Krishna before Draupadi Vivaha. Where is the story of he being born? Where is the story of he killing Kamsa? Of all those Leelas which has... It is in Harivamsha. Harivamsha takes the responsibility. Harivamsha is the last parva of Mahabharata. Mahabharata has so much parvas. The last parva is Harivamsha. Without Harivamsha, Mahabharata is only 84,000 shlokas. With Harivamsha, Mahabharata becomes 1 lakh shloka. So Harivamsha is not some separate grantha. Harivamsha is a part and parcel of Mahabharata. Whatever that can't be discussed in the main plot will be discussed in Harivamsha. This Harivamsha clearly states that Dronacharya, being impressed by the Guru Bhakti what Ekalavya showed, he goes to the home of Ekalavya, which is in Raivata Parvata. He stays with Ekalavya for more than 10 years.
This is mentioned in the Mahabharata.
This is mentioned in Harivamsha, Mahabharata.
Okay.
The only person who has deciphered this is Madhvacharya. He makes this explicit mention. He doesn't say which adhyaya, which chapter and all. We go into the commentators. One of the commentators says, in Harivamsha, Vishnu Parva, 56th or 57th chapter, this shloka. I go there, I get the shloka. So this is why we need acharyas to understand Mahabharata. You don't need cinemas. You don't need cinema directors. You don't need any other translated, English translated books.
Random interpreters.
We need to go into our acharyas. Even in acharyas, this acharya is the only person who has handled this. There is no other acharya. We go into some other acharya, there is no work about these things. Every acharya has his uniqueness. The uniqueness of Madhvacharya is he has dealt with all these things. You go there, it is not sufficient. I mean, for us. You go there, Madhvacharya says Dronacharya has taught Ekalavya. Where is the reference? Just because Madhvacharya says, can I agree to it? Where is the reference? Why is Madhvacharya saying this? Then comes the anugraha of those commentators. A commentator has to critically analyze the words of Madhvacharya.
Correct.
He wants to keep the entire Mahabharata in his head. He wants to know exactly where the sloka has come. He has quoted it. So to understand one simple piece of information, we need our own hard work. That is there. Just because you have your own hard work, you won't get it. You need anugraha of these acharyas. You need Madhvacharya, you need a commentator. If the commentator hasn't mentioned it, God knows when we will find it.
Correct.
It is as simple as hard as searching for a needle in a haystack. You can't burn a haystack here. So it is as tough as this. So this information is obviously, it is there in every critical edition. It has not come up prevalently in Tamil Nadu because there are no Madhva Pandits here. As simple as that. Karnataka has all the Madhva Pandits. This is the common knowledge among Madhva Pandits. Every Madhva Pandit knows that Dronacharya has taught Ekalavya. So whenever some Nastika or someone criticizes that Ekalavya was not taught, Madhva Pandits will simply smile. I know that he was being taught. You are just lying. It is only we haven't not gone to them. It is only a matter of time that it has come now. And thanks to you for taking it up. Yeah.
Now my question is, Dronacharya then has a very good equation with Ekalavya. Where does he go to this demanding the thumb?
When we say, you have mentioned that he has a very good equation with Ekalavya. I'll explain what that very good equation is. Dronacharya has made a promise to the Sarvottama Parashurama. There is no other being greater than Parashurama. Parashurama is Vishnu himself. There is no other being greater than him. Dronacharya has made a promise to Parashurama saying that he won't teach unqualified people.
To Ayogyas.
There is a second promise which was made to Arjuna, saying that I will make you the greatest of all the bow wielders, of all the Dhanur Vidya, Dhanur Viras. This is the promise which was made to Arjuna. Now, when Dronacharya is teaching Ekalavya, he is actually breaking these two promises. He has broken a promise which he has made to Parashurama. He has broken a promise which he has made to Arjuna. He breaks this promise and he does his duty. What is important? Breaking a promise or doing a duty? He says doing a duty. I am impressed. My duty as a teacher is to teach him. I will go to his place, I will teach him. He taught. This is the equation what Dronacharya shared with Ekalavya, number one. The second question you asked is, why was the thumb being asked? The normal misconception is, he is a low-born. Low-borns are not supposed to have Vidya. So the thumb was asked to make him a disabled. This is the normal narrative which is being said. We have already broken the myth that he is not a low-born. He is a high-born. He is a high-born, probably in their language. He is an high-born who education was being denied. Education was denied to an highborn. That is what the narrative we have to set. Yes.
Correct.
He was denied the education, and we have already established he is an highborn, right? So this Ekalavya, he gets the anugraha of Dronacharya. When Dronacharya says, I won't teach you, he isn't explicitly saying, I won't teach you. He says that you keep on practicing. With my anugraha, you will get everything. This is what Dronacharya says. Dronacharya isn't saying, I won't teach you. When Ekalavya comes to Dronacharya, in asking, please teach me Brahmastra, he says, you keep on practicing, you will get that skill. He keeps on practicing and he gets that skill, and he knows it is only because of the anugraha of Dronacharya, because he hasn't got the skill before. His age is already 45, 50. He hasn't got the skill. He is only getting these skills only after he has met Dronacharya and got his anugraha. So he has realized that this is only because of Dronacharya I am getting all the skills. So when Dronacharya asks for Guru Dakshina, he is giving because he is Guru who has done his anugraha. Why is Dronacharya asking for this? He could have asked Guru Dakshina anything. Why is asking for them and making him a crippled? Yes, Dronacharya has already promised Arjuna that he will be the greatest of all his Sishyas in Dhanurvidya. Now there is this person who is calling himself as the Shishya of Dronacharya, and Arjuna, he realizes that he is greater than himself. Ekalavya has demonstrated his art. Arjuna is seeing it firsthand. He knows that Ekalavya is greater than him. When Arjuna is asking, who is your teacher? He says, Dronacharya. Then Arjuna is shocked. Dronacharya has promised me I am the greatest of all his Sishyas in Dhanurvidya. Now Ekalavya is, I am seeing him firsthand that he is greater than me. He is saying Dronacharya Sishya. Then Dronacharya has broken the promise. He is shocked. To pacify this guy is not some normal guy. He is the Yuvaraja. He is the Yuvaraja of the entire kingdom of Bharata. This guy, to be pacified now, he has to pacify because he has made a promise. To pacify him, he asked for thumb. The thumb is given immediately. This impresses Dronacharya. These guys go to Hastinapura and all these things happen. Whatever the dice game, all this happen. Dronacharya goes to Ekalavya's house, he teaches him.
Now we would like to go into the qualities of Dronacharya, because not many people know the kind of human being that he was. So was he so cruel that he would go and demand the thumb of Ekalavya just like that? So could you elaborate us and enlighten us about Dronacharya? What was he? What kind of a person was he? Personality was he?
Dronacharya is a Brahmin, we all know. In Manusmriti, which is a famous grantha in probably Tamil Nadu, no other state has, Manusmriti is not famous as it is in Tamil Nadu. This Manusmriti says there are 4 kinds of vrittis for a Brahmana. Vritti in the sense livelihood. This is how a Brahmana should live. There are 4 kinds of livelihood for Brahmanas. One is Satya Vritti. One is Amrtha Vritti. One is Mrithya Vritti. One is Pramrta Vritti. Satya Vritti is the true Vritti. What is true Vritti means? He shouldn't do yachana in the sense he shouldn't go for bhiksha to anyone. He shouldn't go and ask for bhiksha to anyone. Either he should do go vritti or he should do uncha vritti. Go vritti and uncha vritti are called satya vritti. What is go vritti? What is uncha vritti? Probably uncha vritti we could have seen in many videos. People will go on singing. They will have a pouch. The people who are in the house, they'll come outside and they'll give those grains to this. This is not uncha vritti at all. There is a misconception in that too. This is called yayavara vritti. Yayavara means we don't know who will give us. You will just go. Someone will give. When the container is full, you will return to your home. This is called yayavara vritti. This is not uncha vritti. Uncha vritti means there is a pakshi, there is a bird called uncha. What this uncha does is it will only collect 1 grain at a time. It can't collect the second grain. It has to collect 1 grain at a time. That is what this uncha pakshi does. So uncha vritti means you have to live like uncha pakshi. That is, you go to a farmland where the cultivation is done. They could have taken all the grains. They could have beaten everything. The grains are taken. When everything is taken, there will be left out grains in the road or the place. This person has to go there. He has to collect 1 grain at a time, and to the extent where he can survive for only 1 day. He shouldn't collect all the grains which would feed him for another 30 days. He should collect the grains for that day. Collect it, come to home, cook his food, do all his anushtanas, eat it. This is uncha vritti. Or go to a shop. When there's a transaction between the shopkeeper and the buyer, the shopkeeper pours the grains into the bag of the buyer. There will be few grains which will be spilled out. After the shop has been closed, this guy has to go there, collect those grains, which is probably waste. It isn't used for anyone. He will take that, he'll collect it for that day, and he'll have that food. This is called uncha vritti.
Okay.
Then there is go vritti. This is more cruel. He shouldn't go to a farmer's land and collect the grains. He shouldn't go to a shop to grain. A cow will go there naturally. A cow naturally will go there. It will eat all those grains. It will digest all those grains twice. Cows have two stomachs, right? It will first eat. It will put into one pouch. Then it will take asa podradhan in Tamil we used to call it. I don't know how you call it in English.
They bring it back.
If they bring it back, they again grind it. Then it goes then the digestion happens. After the digestion happens, it excretes. Sani bodum. There will be undigested grains in the dung. This guy has to go to the dung, collect those undigested grains, then save it for one day and eat it. This is called go vritti. These two vrittis are called satya vritti. That is, he isn't going to someone else for yachaka. Dronacharya was doing this go vritti for almost 600 plus years. This is what Dronacharya was doing. The other vritti is there is amrita vritti. Amrita vritti means you don't earn for yourself. You go to Bhiksha, they give you rice, you come cook. Then there is mrita vritti. Mrita vritti means you earn money, you buy grains using that earned money, you eat. This is called mrita. Mrita means to kill. When you are buying the money with the salary which you have earned, you are actually doing killing. We are talking about non-veg killing cows and all. Even if you buy a vendaka, if you buy a lady's finger with the money you have earned, the Brahmana is living in a vritti called mrita vritti, a killing profession or killing livelihood. Then there is pramurtha. If a Brahmana does krishi, that is, he himself is the agriculturist. He is doing the greatest, pramurtha is prakrishtena mritaha, more than killing or glorified killing. The vritti is called pramurtha vritti. So these are the four vrittis of a Brahmana. Dronacharya was doing the go vritti for almost 600-650 years. Only in the last.
The highest.
This is the highest vritti. He was near those kings. He was near Hastinapura. He didn't go to Hastinapura even one day. His very child Ashwatthama, he used to get a diluted flour, maavu, arisi maavu dilute panni that flour drink. He used to get this as milk. His mother, he cheated Ashwatthama saying this is milk. Then Ashwatthama, once playing with these Raja Putras, when they are drinking milk, even he drank milk. This milk tasted so much different, so much tastier than the milk which he used to get from his mother. He goes to his mother, he asks his mother, you are cheating me. Now Dronacharya realized that I am unable to feed my child even with one glass of milk. Then he doesn't go to Raja. He goes to Drupada Raja, because Drupada Raja and Dronacharya were classmates. When Drupada, and close friends too, Drupada Raja was saying, after my studies, I'll get the entire Drupada Raja. You are my close friend. I'll give you half of my Raja to you. So Dronacharya says, he has promised, my friend. He is my friend. He has promised half of my kingdom to him. I'll go and ask for my share of the kingdom. I'll feed my child. He goes there. Drupada Raja, he not only cheats, he disrespects Dronacharya, saying, how can you be my friend? I am the greatest king ever possible. How can a Bada Brahmana, a poor Brahmin, can be my friend? You are not my friend. Even he is not saying. He is saying it to his own Kavalali, his own soldiers. He is sending the soldiers to say it to Dronacharya, and he is written. This is why Dronacharya wanted to bring Drupada Raja, and whoever brings Drupada Raja will be made the greatest of warriors. This is where the connection is. Why Dronacharya promised Arjuna to make him the greatest of warriors is Arjuna brings Drupada Raja fighting him. Arjuna fights Drupada Raja. Drupada Raja loses. He ties his up and brings him and puts in the feet of Dronacharya. This is why Arjuna has been promised of he being the greatest Shishyas of Dronacharya. Now he didn't get the Rajya. Then where he goes? He goes to Parashurama. Because Parashurama, anything I get it from the Lord. So if I ask to the Lord, it is not a dosha. So he goes to the Lord. What Parashurama does is, Parashurama was giving dana to all Brahmanas. By seeing Dronacharya coming, at first he finishes all his danas. There is no more thing to do dana with Parashurama. So when Dronacharya approaches, Parashurama is empty-handed. He has nothing. He has done all the Bhu Pradakshinas. He has won all the kingdoms. He is doing dana. Dronacharya is approaching Parashurama. Parashurama, on seeing him, he finishes all his dana. He immediately gives it. He is empty-handed now. Now Parashurama has no asserts to do dana to Dronacharya. Parashurama says, I have nothing. You have come for alms. What I have is, I have myself. I have my astras. I have my vidya. What do you want? This is what Parashurama is asking with Dronacharya. Dronacharya says, you are the Lord. I can't ask for you. Because when I ask for you, you will become my servant. That can't be. Because you are the Lord of everyone. So I can't ask for you. I can't ask for your astras. Because the astras only you can wield. No other person can wield your astras. So please give me your vidya. What he goes is to ask for one cow. What he does is stays with him and learns for Lord, probably 30-40 years. He learns and he still doesn't get a cow for his child. After getting all these vidyas, he casually passes Hastinapura. There is an incident where the ball of these kids, it has fallen into a well. Dronacharya, by using darba is the sacred gas we use for our rituals. He uses that darba and he brings that ball up. These Rajaputras were impressed. He was saying, we want to learn our art of warfare with Dronacharya. So Bhishmacharya takes these people to Dronacharya. There ends the matter. I mean, to get the entire picture,
I understand.
You have to correlate all these things. Why Arjuna was given a Vara, why what was the state of Dronacharya, what was his, I mean, you called me very humiliated person. When I say Dronacharya, I don't know what I am. I survive out of a 5-figure, 6-figure salary. When I hear Dronacharya, why? When someone calls me,
the greatest characters.
I mean, when we hear, my heart naturally goes that I should at least live one day as Dronacharya did. I should go to a I should pick those. He naturally attracts me. That is how it is. How was Ekalavya? He was the warlord of Jarasandha. I mean, the comparison, what is being said now is
because Ekalavya is shown as a victim.
Is a victim.
And a perpetrator of the crime. That's how Dronacharya is being shown. That is why I asked you the characters.
Dronacharya thought his own Kshatru. Drupada Raja, he prayed to Agni, asking for a child which will kill Dronacharya. He is Drishtadyumna, Draupadi's brother. Drishtadyumna is being sent to Dronacharya. Dronacharya teaches Drishtadyumna. He knows Drishtadyumna will kill me. Even though he's teaching Drishtadyumna. Dronacharya teaches Paundraka Vasudeva. Krishna says, only because he has learned Vidya from Dronacharya, Paundraka Vasudeva is able to fight with so much valor against me. Krishna's own words. I mean, there is no person that is not taught by Dronacharya. Every person has learned from Dronacharya. There is no person who has gone and who has denied education with Dronacharya. He has taught everyone.
This is the entire
picture, yeah.
Great.
I don't know if you have covered the entire picture.
No, but
there are always nuances.
Of course. But the kind of caricaturing that is being done, unfortunately, because I happened to watch this movie, Karna, by our great Shivaji Ganesan. He put...
I'm blessed that I'm not watching all these things.
Where Karna is shown as a victim, a benevolent personality. Can you throw some light on that?
Karna is Surya Avatara. Karna is Surya himself personified. There is no doubt about it. Surya is the greatest Devata we could. He is one among the Vishwa Devatas. He is the greatest order Devata. We have this natural way of connecting Karna to Kavacha Kundala. This Kavacha Kundala is nothing but an asura called Sahasra Varma. Sahasra Varma means 1000 Kavachas. There was once a asura who had 1000 Kavachas. He got that.
What is the Kavacha?
Kavacha means an armor.
Okay.
How special this armor is? To break one armor, the person who is trying to break should do a tapas of 1000 years. Only when the person has done 1000 years of 10,000 years of tapas, 10,000 years of tapas, he would be able to break one armor, and there are 1000 such armors. So his name is Sahasra Varma. We all know a great kshetra called Badri. Badri is a place when you do tapas, it gets multiplied into 10,000 times. I mean 10,000. Doing one day of tapas is equal to 10,000 years of tapas. One day of tapas is equal to 10,000 years of tapas. Narayana directly incarnates. Nara incarnates. Nara Narayana is what the place of Badri is. Nara is a Devata, is a collection of Devatas. Collection of Devatas in one Deha is called Nara. Then there is Sakshat Narayana. So what is this Nara is? This Nara is naturally Indravatara with Sesha and the Avesha of Narayana and Vayu. Their Avatara is Sesha, Indra himself. Then inside him there are three more people. There is Narayana, there is Vayu, and there is Sesha. This is what Nara means. Then there is Narayana. So what these two people do is, Nara does tapas for one day. He'll get 10,000 years of tapas. He'll go into war. He'll fight for one day. When Narayana is fighting for one day, Nara will be doing tapas for one day. So the next day he would go and break another kavacha. So there are 999 kavachas which would be broken. There is one kavacha which is left. This guy, fearing that I will be lost, he finds a place where no one can find him. What is that place? It's inside Surya, because Surya is the one which lightens the entire world. You need light to see something. The source of light is Surya. When I go into Surya itself, no one can see me. Everyone sees using Surya, not the Surya himself. Right. So he goes into Surya. Surya takes him in. So when Karna is born, he is born with this Asura combined. That is what this Kavacha and Kundala is. So this Karna is naturally a good person. But because of the influence of this Asura, he does all the bad things. How much bad he is doing? Karna is the only person, not once, not twice, thrice, saying, Draupadi, please go and sit in the left thigh of Duryodhana. Not once, not twice, thrice. He is saying that Draupadi, please go and sit in the thigh of Duryodhana. He is the only person who is talking in that the moment of great worry of Draupadi, for in support of Duryodhana. And Karna, because of only Karna, Duryodhana is taking the war into his hands. Because Duryodhana believes in Karna so much, he is saying that we'll win the war. Let's go for war. This is how Karna is. He is a good person. He is Devata. Devata means he is a Vishnu Bhakta. But because of Avesha of this bad guy, he does all these bad things. If you ask me if he is a great warrior, yes, he is a great warrior. If you ask me whether he was taught by Dronacharya, he was taught by Dronacharya. Karna himself agrees. Okay. Karna himself agrees that I am a student of Dronacharya. Narada, when describing Karna to Yudhishthira, he says Karna is student of Dronacharya.
But recently there was a program. The stalwarts, where the chief minister was there, where it was being said that Kripacharya and Dronacharya denied education to Karna. So I would want you to elaborate.
Which is blatant lie. Those things were said to pacify Yuvaraja.
For political purposes.
We have Yuvaraja. In Tamil Nadu, we have Yuvaraja. As Dronacharya pacified Arjuna, who was Yuvaraja, these people are pacifying in Yuvaraja. That is which has happened. This is a blatant lie. In Adi Parva, there are numerous instances where Kripacharya and Dronacharya have taught Karna all the Vidyas. The only Vidya which he was denied was, we have already dealt with this, which was denied was Brahmastra.
Brahmastra.
Why was he denied? He was denied not because of his birth. Again, he is not some low birth. Suta is a jati which is between Vaishya, which is greater than Vaishya and lesser than Kshatriya. These guys have the ability to do both Kshatriya karma and Vaishya karma.
Okay.
Suta jati sits middle in between Vaishya and Kshatriya. That is when a Kshatriya Purusha marries a Brahmin lady and there is a child born. This child born is lesser than Kshatriya and greater than Vaishya. These guys can do both the duties. That is what Suta jati is not some whatever low birth we are talking about. He is already an high born person. He was taught extensively. When we say Arjuna is battling, when he say he is using astras, he is obviously reciting mantras. Where does he get mantras from? I mean, you can't read mantras from WhatsApp and say I have Siddhi.
Correct.
When the mantras have to work, you should have the qualification to get the mantra, number one. Then you should get it from a qualified teacher, number two. Then after getting, you should make sure this mantra works by reciting the mantra so many times a day.
I understand.
I mean, when I go and call my area counselor, will he come to my house? He won't come. I should develop such relationship with that counselor. Only then he'll come to my house when I call him. Right? Even this area counselor has such a requirement. How are you supposed to call Devatas just by saying I know the mantra? Those mantras has these procedures to be followed. Karna had all those mantras in him. He was doing Astra Prayoga only because he got all these Vidyas from Kripacharya, Dronacharya.
Okay.
He himself admits. I don't have to go on doing Yuktivada.
Then there is a quote about this.
There is an explicit mention where Karna himself says, I am a Sishya of Dronacharya. There is an explicit quote where Narada, when introducing Karna to Yudhishthira, says he is a Sishya of Dronacharya.
Okay.
That is, I mean, he has been taught.
So it's a misconception again that is being spread.
When we have to take this education being denied, this subject, we have to deal with one character called Vidura. Vidura is a Shudra. We have already been known that Shudras are denied education. We are used to hearing all those things. Vidura was taught Veda Vidya, not just taught Veda Vidya. He was an important person in the Sabha of Kuru Vamsha kings. Sabha of Kuru Vamsha kings has the greatest minds as their ministers. They were all Brahmanas. Vidura was, controlling that Sabha. When Vidura says it is authentic, every Brahmana believed, including Duryodhana, including Bhishmacharya, including Kripacharya. He was taught, not just taught. Now, I will teach you, I'll just discard you off. That is what not happened. He was taught. He was given a place in Sabha. He was not just given a place in Sabha, he was respected to every word he said. It is only because Vidura and Krishna was not present in the Sabha of Draupadi Devi when she was disrobed, the disrobing of Draupadi Devi happened. There is an explicit mention of this too. Bhishmacharya says, Drona, what is that? This guy, Duryodhana. He says that if Krishna and Vidura was here, this would have not happened. Vidura had so much command over that Sabha. He was a Shudra. Every Kuru Vamsha king, both Pandavas and Kauravas, they called Vidura as their Chitapa. My uncle. That is what he's a Shudra. It is a well-established fact that Vidura is a Shudra. There is no denial about it. Was he taught Veda Vidya? He was taught Veda Vidya. Did he have a place in the Sabha? He had. Did he command the Sabha? No one commanded the Sabha than Vidura. There is an entire chapter called Viduraniti, which we till today revere. We want to follow Viduraniti to the end of the full stop. So when this Jativada comes, when based upon Jati, education was denied.
That is not true.
That is not true. That is not true even in the times of British. There is a book called The Beautiful Tree by Dharmapal Singh. The entire book is made up of letters written by governors of British to the Viceroy of British. They have explicitly mentioning that so much Shudras were
I
studying.
think Monroe was one of the people who contributed.
One of the governors were Monroe. There are other peoples too.
So there is always this thought about how caste-based there was a sort of discrimination. Now, even during Madhvacharya's period, the discrimination was there. Would you deny it?
There wasn't discrimination in anything. I mean, there isn't discrimination at all. There is, if you ask me if there is a hierarchy, I would say yes. Is that hierarchy discriminating? No. There is you who is a manager of some institution. There is an employee. Is there a hierarchy between the manager?
But wasn't this discussed? Because during the period of Shankara, during the period of Madhva, and during the period of Ramanuja, there were discriminations. At least Ramanuja was said to have expressed his displeasure on those discriminations. What do you think about it?
I don't agree there was discrimination until the times of British. Even I can prove this with these books like Dharmapal Singh's The Beautiful Three. There wasn't discrimination until British came in. Even in the times of Mughals, there wasn't discrimination. The discrimination came into picture when British came into picture. This we can prove it. How? See, I saw a YouTube video where there is a person who is collecting all these antiques. I don't know his name. He is in some Tiruchi Kaveri belt or something. There's a resort. That resort has all these antiques. He is showing a piece called the sound box.
Okay.
What the sound box is, when a British officer goes from one place to another, when he is traveling, the servants of this British person, they will carry a chair. The chair is specially made to shit. This British defecate. This chair is called sound box. These chairs were carried by Indians, right? There isn't a jati who does this job in the entire Dharma Shastra. There is no jati. There are jati based professions. I mean, this jati has to this profession, this jati has to this profession. All this is there. For example, Suta jati, they have to do a profession where they ride the horses, ride the chariots. Is there a profession where it insists people to deal with shit of another person? There isn't. But we have seen that there is a jati in recent years who are doing it. Again, they are doing it even now. There are particular, I mean, we recently had a great outbreak, right? They are doing it now. People are making a living by cleaning the shit of other people. When I see Dharma Shastras, if there is any profession related to that, there is no profession. There is no jati which was related to handling of human shit by another human. There isn't at all. In fact, Dharma Shastra insists how a person should shit. We didn't have toilets at those days. How they were shitting? Yes. The person has to go 100 feet outside the borders of the village. He should sit behind a bush. He shouldn't shit on the bush. I mean, behind the bush is to hide himself from others. He shouldn't shit or urinate on even a plant, not even a blade of grass. He should find a place, he should dig a hole, he should do his duties there, he should cover the hole, and he should place a stone or some kind of twig such that this person has defecated there, there's defecation. He should make all this, then return home. If accidentally a person has seen another person shit, he has rituals to purify him. This is for all humans, not just Brahmanas, not just Vaishyas, not just Shudras, not just...
I read a book where it said that if a person defecates or shits, he should clean himself. Now the cleaning process, he should not do it straight into the river.
Yes.
Or on the water body.
Yes.
He should...
Forget shitting, sir. I live in Kanchipuram. There are more tirthas in Kanchipuram, Punya tirthas, which were constructed by Devatas, Rishis, all this. These Punya tirthas are for removing my sin, removing my papas which I have done, and gaining Punya. These tirthas are not for removing my impurity. It is not. So before going to this Punya Tirtha, I should wash all these impurities in my home. It is called Sachela Snana. I should do Sachela Snana, use soaps or use all these churnas to wash my body with all these impurities. Then go to Nadi, then go to Pushkarani and do only my ritualistic bath there. My body's impurities shouldn't affect those tirthas. It includes nadis, it includes ponds, all these are included. After bathing, I shouldn't dry or I shouldn't squeeze my vastra into that river or into that pond. I should go a few steps above and I should do this. These are all well documented. These are well documented steps for having a holy bath in any of the tirthas or any of the nadis. Shitting is another extent, right? I'm bathing in
It is said that you are not supposed to clean in any of these water bodies. You should take the water, go clean yourself, and that water should be made to roll thrice.
And then come into the main source, something like that. At least thrice. You get it, right? At least thrice. So this is the level of respect Dharma Shastras gave to humans. Then where did this group of dealing with human shit came in? It came in the period of British when they mandated these jatis should carry my shit box. Right? So was there a caste system? I don't know what caste system is. I can say there is a Varna system in hand. Is there a hierarchy? Yes, there is a hierarchy. Is there a discrimination? No, there is no discrimination. So where is the discrimination which we are talking about comes? We are talking about discrimination now, right? We are seeing.
No, but aren't we looking into these stories? You may correct me if I'm wrong. Aren't we looking into the stories where Ramanuja, his own wife, was upset with him that he asked a person of a lower.
I am not qualified person to talk about Ramanuja. I'm not aware what the exact.
And then he admonished her. That's what.
I have no idea what Ramanuja. If you ask me about Sri Bhashyam written by Ramanuja, I can probably talk because I have some shastras where I can read the Sri Bhashya and understand. If you ask me about the life history of Ramanuja, I don't know what.
Because there, the caste aspect is brought in. So my question is, unless there was a discrimination, why would that reflect there?
I'm not sure whether this story is even authentic. I can't comment on it. But based on the scriptures, what I have read, there is no discrimination at all. I mean, I'm pretty sure. This very instance, I'm saying you that you can't show me one shloka in Manusmriti where a human will be forced to deal with another human shit. In fact, it prohibits. It gives you so much detailing into the steps, care to be taken when you shit, such that another person shouldn't even has to see your shit.
But what about this fact that has been established and being said that Manusmriti is against women or women's rights?
I mean, you have to quote me the exact shlokas to say this. Only when I can't make a motherhood statement about anything. You give me a shloka, which shloka says that against women, I can deal with it. I can prove that it is not against women. I can prove. I have read all the shlokas of Manusmriti, not once, with many times. Not just the main shlokas, with commentaries. There are two commentaries. There's Medhatiti commentary and there is Kulluka Bhatta commentary.
Yeah.
Kulluka Bhatta is probably a famous name.
Yeah.
Kulluka Bhatta is famous because he has made a commentary on Manusmriti. He has done so much brain acrobatics. Then the Kulluka Bhatta is famous. When a person does brain acrobatics, we call him as Kulluka Bhatta, right? Where is Kulluka Bhatta coming from? Because he has
which is more authentic, do you think, between Meghdati? Because
Meghdati, again, there is we have acharyas who are of Sri Vaishnava, Madhva and Shankaracharya. This Medhatiti and Kulluka Bhatta, they aren't associated with any of the philosophies. They are individual commentators. We can take them for an extent. When there is some discrepancy, again you have to go back to Acharyas. Then you have to clear that out. There isn't one global solution for it. I mean, their words aren't the words to carry upon. You have to critically analyze their words too. You can take it to an extent when there is no doubt. When there is a doubt, you go back to acharyas, you read other smritis, you read other dharmashastra books, then you get a clarity.
Okay. So per se, you believe that discrimination was not prevalent. I mean, at least the social discrimination as we see today.
It was
not
prevalent. It gets started only 300 years ago, 200 years ago, probably. Even in the same Dharmapal Singh's book, there is a person who is writing a letter to the governor or someone. He is stating that because we have industrialized lot of works here, we have brought in so much industrialization, the craftsmanship is gone. The craftsmen who used to send their children to patashalas, what they are doing now is, because they don't have food, because we have industrialized, as soon as these tender limbs have got some power, they are taking away from patashalas and putting them into labor. This guy is making an explicit mention. I can give you the proof. You can show it in your video.
No, but if you are going to say that, now how do the craftsmanship develop if the offspring are going to go to patashalas and are not going to take up that work of the craftsmen?
Those craftsmen, children of craftsmen, they were taught special granthas in patashalas regarding to their craft profession. There were explicit granthas. There is a huge list of granthas where the same English person is making, the employee of the British is making. He is saying that if this student is from a pot making community or a weaver community, these granthas specially will be taught to them in addition to the normal granthas like Ramayana, Mahabharata.
Okay.
So obviously Brahmins were teaching these people about those art too. Then they go into their family and they learn that art by practicing. Then they take up the work. What British industrialization did is, it took away money from these people. These guys needed money. For many human intensive labor is needed. As soon as these tender limbs were able to do some work, they took off these people from education, they put it into labor. This guy is saying that we should somehow figure out a solution where these people continue. You would be surprised to see, when there are more Brahmin population in a state, the more people who are Shudras and who are Vaishyas, their population of people going to schools are higher.
Okay.
Say there are 30 Brahmin students who are studying in a class. There are 600 students who are Shudras who are studying in the class. Because there are more Brahmins teaching there.
Okay.
33% of Brahmins, 64% of Shudras. That is what this Dharmapal Singh makes in his...
Correct, but 33%, don't you think that is disproportionate still, considering that Brahmins are only 3% or 4%?
Who knows what was the population then? Who knows what was the population then? It could be 33% then. We are 3 now. It could be 33% then.
Okay. So the population could have altered.
Yes.
That is what you believe.
Yes. I mean, we are seeing in our naked eyes that there aren't babies being born. There is either one baby or no baby. We are into what is called dinga. There is a double income, no something. There is some word. Double income, no child. Dink. D-I-N-K. Double income, no kid. That is the trend now. The husband will earn, the wife will earn. They will enjoy these shared assets. There is no kids for them. They will just die. That is the trend now. And there isn't babies being born now. There are many babies being born then. Probably the demographics was right.
Okay. So nice, sir. This having you coming out and discussing so many aspects. And there are so many things that we need to discuss. I hope and wish I get the opportunity to sit with you on various sessions where we can take up all these topics and you can enlighten us more. And thank you so much for having come to the studio. It was a pleasure having you with us. I hope and wish that you do take time. I know that you are occupied and you have your own work and so on and so
I
forth.
mean,
But
this is my work too. As a Brahmana, this is my work.
again, that is your humility and your benevolence, I should say. But then I, I I fully respect that. But I request you to make time to drop into our studio often
I'm waiting to be
and
used.
enlighten us.
Yeah.
more.
I'm waiting to be given such an opportunity. I would again enlighten myself with more other information which could give more light, shed some light, break misconceptions to common people, and remove these people from confusions. The ultimate thing these misconceptions are bringing into the life of common people is it is making them more and more confused. So if I could remove some of the misconceptions, bring some relief to these confusions, I think I have done my part in my life, and I'm happy to put my hard work into it. I'm happy to interact with you for as much as time that is possible.
Thank you so much.
Jai Shri Ram, Shri Krishna Arpanamastu.